Hey guys, how you guys doing? Welcome back to another. Um, this is a random review. This is my thoughts on. This is gonna be. I'm gonna be starting a review for a. I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna review a series of films that are considered disturbing. They're considered disturbing horror films. They're made to shock people. They're called Mondo films, aka shockumentaries, aka just whatever. Basically, where someone takes a camera and they film some of the most horrific stuff you can think of. That'd be autopsies, embalmings, suicides caught on camera, accidents, people falling off buildings, animals being tortured or killed, um, executions, things like that. So, and that series is Traces of Death. Now, there is 5 volumes in this series, 5 volumes. So yeah, here are the cases, and then this is the box. So, of course, we're going to talk about the first one, which came out in 1992. Now, Traces of Death is, of course, this was inspired by the legendary, notorious Faces of Death from 1978. And, of course, Faces of Death got really popular, and they made three sequels as well as 2 sequels that were, well, technically 6. There were 6 movies in the series, but 5 and 6 were highlights of footage. It was recycled footage from the first 4 films. Now, I'm sure everybody that's familiar with this series by now probably already knows that, Faces of Death mostly had, fake footage. About 60% of Faces of Death was real, and then 40% of it was, well, yeah, 60% was authentic, and 40% was either staged or reenacted. Or both. It's both. Now, this one, what separates Faces of Death, what separates this from Faces of Death is, now this has more real footage. Like, it even says absolutely no stage scenes, which that is not accurate. The ending to this is staged, which I will get to when I get to spoilers. But hold on. Be right back. So, came out in 1993. Now, every Mondo film, of course, has, their narration. Um, this was narrated by a guy named Damon Fox. Now, Damon Fox would narrate the first 2 installments, and then Darren Ramage, who I believe is head of Brain Damage Films. His nickname is Brain Damage. He plays his own character. He plays his character Brain Damage. He hosts parts 3 to 5. Anyways, back to the first installment. So, Damon Fox narrated this. It was distributed by Brain Damage Films. Brain Damage Films, of course, they actually released this whole series. They released the whole series. So what else is? They released the whole box set. Now, I watched all of these in separate days. Now, I didn't watch all 5 in one day, no. But I did rewatch the first one, of course. I watched these on separate days because I'd never seen the sequels. They're all graphic in the same way, but there's like new stuff in every installment. Granted, it still has its. Now, Faces of Death sort of had that tone, like, I mean, so if y'all are familiar with the original, you know, the Dr. Francis B. Crow's character, you know, how it introduces him, how he explains the many faces of death you see. Well, this one you don't get anything. It just happens. But you do get a little bit of an intro by Damon Fox. You see in the beginning, you know, you get the brain damage logo, and then the traces of death intro. The blood starts dripping down, sort of like that right there, like on the DVD covers. And then he introduces himself. You know, welcome. You know, you're about to. You know, where blackness remains and nightmares become reality. And the guy has such a sinister voice. And a lot of people complain about his narration. A lot of people are complaining that it sounds like a computer-generated voice. And I don't know how I feel about the narration. But now spoilers, guys. I'm going to get into graphic detail of all the scenes that go on in this film. And it's all real footage. Real deaths. People actually dying on camera. There is animal cruelty in this, like Faces of Death. So big. I'm serious. Go ahead and click off this video right now. If you're not into this kind of stuff, just go ahead and click off of it. Alright, spoilers. One of the first scenes, it's sort of done in order almost. Like, you get suicides in one part, you get crime scene photos, which the film starts off with. You get photos of pretty much aftermaths of murders. Like, you see one guy that like committed suicide by blowing his head off. Well, actually, before that, it did show another photo of a guy that tried committing suicide by blowing his head off, and then you do see some photos involving, you know, his face being reconstructed. His face had to be surgically plastered on. I thought that was pretty unsettling. And then you get the film starts there. It's the narrator sort of warns y'all in like he's like, return to your normal world now. You know, basically just go back to living your happy life, which I wish I could have done. Anyways, I shouldn't be laughing at this. You get photos of it's crime scene photos that police had to take. There's a photo of a guy. There's like an aftermath of some sort of cartel. They placed a roll of quarters along with some explosives into this guy's mouth. That's what the narrator explains. The photo is basically a guy with his face blown off, and that was pretty gruesome to look at. And there's also the photo of a guy that was shot multiple times, and then he was thrown from a speeding car. You see 3 different photos of this exact same guy. You see one photo involving his leg, like his leg was ripped off of his body, and the narrator says this really like, I'm okay. So he says that, ever wonder what the inside of a leg looks like? Sprayed, splayed, and filleted like a side of beef. And then for like a second, I think it's like a second, and then he's like, well, now you know. I thought that was kind of weird. And then there's crime scene um, there's caught on video crime scenes pretty much. Basically, there's Marisa Martin, the woman that was shot at a cemetery by her ex-husband. I think their daughter committed suicide, and they were there. He blamed He blamed her, and I mean it's very shocking to see. There's also now I'm gonna go ahead and go through this. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go straight to the animal stuff. Now, there's not really much in terms of animal stuff, but there's 2 scenes involving it. And one of those scenes was that, I mean, now, this uses a lot of recycled footage. This was used in another film from 1987's True Gore, which I've never seen. Oh, man. First time seeing this film, when I saw this scene for the first time, I was like, I literally was like, okay, what the hell kind of, like, I mean, I get it. Things like this happen all the time. They pretty much burn this pig alive. Its legs are tied up, its limbs are tied. There's these 2 guys that they have like lab coats, they have like a giant blowtorch, and they burn this pig alive. And, you know, instead of, you know, slaughtering the pig, you know, they're burning it. I get it. It was an experiment, but still, I mean, do we really need to see it? The pig screaming and the skin burning off. And there's also an interview. There's also what else? There's a video of what's the name of the guy? Oh God, his name is Terry Rossland. He tried committing suicide by making his car explode. That was in this. Then he goes back to like the photo montages. These are still images of more crime scene photos of people that were mauled by animals. Like, they were pretty gross to look at. Like the one involving the woman who passed away in her home. Her face, like her pets ate away at her face, and it is her face is like a skeleton. Her face is degloved, and that was a really, really haunting image to see. It's combined with the really, really quiet synth music. Now, just a little note here with this series, the first installment. This first installment had public domain music, and then parts 2, 3, 4, and 5 all used death metal music. I believe the music for this one was done by, for Trace's Death 2 was done by Century Media. Now, I don't know when I'm going to get to the sequels, but I can now say I have seen all 5 volumes. There is Suicides. There's that interview with the guy that tried committing suicide. Of course, his face had to be surgically plastered on. And then, of course, everybody should know this by now, so I'm not going to explain it, but R. Bud Dwyer, his infamous suicide, broadcasted suicide, is in this as well. There is surgeries and autopsies and embalmings. I mean, it has all that. There is like uh, organ removal, like the first scene involving uh, there's they pull this they pull the guts out, and like they pull their organs out, they pull the lung, I think it's the lung, like their intestines out, and then there's a brain removal. There's also, what else? Now this is the most controversial, probably the most infamous scene from the film. And this is probably the sickest scene in the whole film. A lot of people were saying that this is the sickest scene, and I cannot disagree. Definitely is nasty. It is the infamous sex change, where a male gets turned into a female, and that wasn't my cup of tea to watch at all. They're circumcising the guy, this guy, and yeah, that wasn't pretty to watch. I'm not gonna lie, it actually did make me kind of squirm a little bit. Not just a little bit, but a lot. That whole scene alone. There's also accidents like plane accidents, automobile accidents, car accidents, dirt bike accidents. There's also stunts gone wrong, pretty much. Evel Knievel. There's that one where he tried to jump in a motorcycle and then he got hit in the crotch. He does this. He says is infamous. Needless to say, I never did this stunt again. And then there was the Caesar's Palace crash. He really got hurt. So you see a couple of Evel Knievel stunts. You do see some. You see paramedic footage. Like I said, I'm going through it randomly, not in particular order, but you get paramedic footage. Like they. There's also, what else? Like aftermaths of car accidents, pretty much. Like ambulance EMTs at like a scene of a car wreck. You know, you see someone's body slumped against a steering wheel or a seat. You know, someone that was flung out of their vehicle. You know, you see them wrap the body up, prepare to take it to the morgue. Like I mentioned, there is embalming footage in this. Oh, and I forgot to mention, there is one more. There is another surgery involving a baby brain. It was a baby brain surgery, which that was not easy to watch either. Where they basically go into the brain, like they peel the skin back. That was very, very. Not to mention, that scene was like 8 minutes long. I am not joking. It was a really, really, really long scene. Anyways, the ending, which was I'm gonna go back to the embalming footage. This this old woman, her body is, her mouth is sewn shut, and she's basically like there's fluid injected into her eye and yada yada yada. It was that was pretty unsettling to sit through. I mean, the silent synth music, like the very quiet synth music. But oh shoot, I think my chin's bleeding. I just shaved not too long ago. But anyway, so there's also the ending, which was also recycled footage from another film, another Mondo film from, I believe it was the early 80s or like the late 70s. Very, like, really late 70s, called Savage Man, Savage Beast. There's this guy, his name is Pit Durrance. He steps out of his car. He has his family with him. He steps out of his car. There's, like, other cars witnessing this, and he has, like a film camera, and takes, like, a photo of the lines. And one of the lines goes behind him, and then just boom, and they eat him. He gets mauled by these lines, and his family, you see them screaming and crying as they witness I don't know, guys. But that ending was staged. Now, of course, this DVD release, there is bonus footage, which, there is 2 scenes. There's one where these 2 scenes were used in Banned from Television, the first Banned from Television movie. The one involving the guy that blew his head off in front of the cops. It basically where he gets out of his car, he's wearing undies. Yep, he's wearing tidy whities and some boots. He puts like a giant shotgun up to his chin, and he blows his head off. His brains spray out. You don't really see it, but then you also have this really intense scene where these 2, there's a mom and her daughter. There's like these trains. Okay, they have to get past the train. The mom stops, but the kid just doesn't stop running until the train meets the kid, and then you see the kid fly out of the scene. That was really shocking to see. And there's also still photographs. There's a photo of a guy with a completely destroyed face, like down from like here to here. His tongue is sort of like this whole part of his face is pretty much gone. And he's wearing like gauze. It's a still photo. A guy with a completely destroyed face. There's also a photo of a dead body with, looks like a stick or something in a woman's vagina. And that's a real photograph that was put in the that was put in this bonus footage. And there's also interviews with Darren Ramage, aka Brain Damage. Now, I honestly don't remember what he says, but I do remember though him explaining about how Traces of Death started, yada yada yada. So I thought that was a cool interview. But I'm not gonna give Traces of Death a rating because I feel like I can't. So yeah. But I can say that I can recommend it, but definitely not for the faint of heart. But if you're into this kind of stuff, you want to check out every extreme thing in the world, sure, go for it. So, yeah, guys, that's Traces of Death from 1993. I do plan on reviewing the rest of these movies, but that's the box set. This is the box set. So, yeah, guys, hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to comment, like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned for more of these reviews coming up. I will talk to you guys later. Peace out. Bye.